Joining me right now is international lawyer and former State Department official David Tafuri. Thank you so much, David, for being here once again. You know, it depends on who you ask, the interpretation of that clash. You know, whether it was sparked by, Zelensky's comments kind of setting off J.D. Vance or calling him out, or whether J.D. Vance and President Trump were bullying Zelensky. But how did you see it?
I saw it as an acrimonious exchange that went off the tracks. They were off message, and unfortunately, it was unsuccessful for both sides. And there's some lessons to be learned. If you want to have a meeting like this and you haven't worked out all the issues and there are things you still need to debate, like what the ceasefire would look like, you should do that in private without the press pool there, and so that cameras aren't on and people aren't playing to the cameras, and you try to work that out beforehand. I would also note that President Zelensky speaks English, but it's not his first language, and he doesn't have strong command over English. I know he prefers to do meetings like that in Ukrainian with a translator. If they had had a translator, it would have slowed the meeting down a little bit. It would have been harder for people to interrupt him, and people could have heard his whole statement translated into very strong, clear English. And I think that also might have helped avoid the meeting going off the rails as it did. But going forward, I think both sides need to lay blame aside. They shouldn't be blaming each other. They need to find a way to reconnect on the issues that are important. The meeting yesterday was really just supposed to be about signing this minerals deal. They weren't supposed to get into the ceasefire and debating the ceasefire yet. So what they need to do is still sign that mineral deal as a first step towards closer cooperation between Ukraine and the United States, and then opening the door towards a discussion and ultimately negotiations over a ceasefire. As President Zelensky said yesterday, Ukraine needs a security guarantee. It doesn't necessarily have to be Article 5 from joining NATO, but some security guarantee is essential because, as he mentioned, over and over again, when they've signed deals with Russia's Putin, Putin has broken those deals. And so to sign a new ceasefire without a security guarantee and no consequences for Russia if it breaks the deal is useless for President Zelensky and Ukrainians. And as I understand it, most Ukrainians support President Zelensky on that.
Yeah, well, I guess, again, I asked a gentleman who's Ukrainian this past week, I said, how are you feeling about how President Zelensky is, representing your native nation? And this is his response. Just a deep sigh.
In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire, all of them told me that he will never go. We signed with him with gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken the ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners.
That was the remarks that you were actually touching on earlier about President Zelensky saying Russian diplomacy isn't really realistic. But, just as someone who's a bystander, not someone who's pro or anti-Ukraine, because this is a complicated issue, should Zelensky have waited to make those comments in a closed-door meeting, knowing this was a news conference, knowing how many people were watching?
I agree with you. It would be hard for him to just ignore those comments and nod his head and not respond. And what happened is Vice President Vance said, hey, you need to do diplomacy. And President Zelensky there, and you heard some of it in the clip you just played, is trying to say, we have tried diplomacy. We've been trying diplomacy since 2008. President Putin and Russia keep violating the terms. They attacked us in 2014. They annexed Crimea. They annexed the East. We signed a deal after that. They broke that deal many times. And so he's trying to give some background to the vice president. And maybe he should have not done that in this meeting. But Ukrainians probably are happy to see their president standing strong, standing up for the experience that they've had back in Ukraine, because they're living this. And it's easy for people in the Oval Office to point the finger at President Zelensky and say you should want peace. But they haven't been to Ukraine. J.D. Vance has not been to Ukraine. President Trump has not been to Ukraine. So they don't know the experience of Ukrainians who are fighting for their lives, who have suffered atrocities by Russian soldiers, who've had women raped, children abducted and taken back to Russia. So these are serious experiences experiences for Ukrainians. And I think they probably were happy to see their president, outnumbered there, but standing up for his country.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.